We love our Florida citrus. It is a crucial part of our economy, but the industry is in trouble, not just because of citrus greening, but because of our weather. Christopher Brantley joins us with more. Christopher?
Good evening, Alan. Many of the trees used for growing oranges are quite confused. Right now, they should be experiencing cold weather, but this warm weather has thrown off their internal clocks. Out here at Brown's farm in Sarasota, the oranges are being processed, cleaned, and polished. But there isn't enough of them.
We're seeing shorter boxes per acre. We're seeing less fruit on the tree.
Tim Brown and his family have been farming oranges in Sarasota since 1915, 102 years. He doesn't remember his father or grandfather dealing with the issues he's having.
Each year we see more and more warmer days in the state during December and January and even into February.
This weather has confused the trees, which should be empty, but are actually blooming.
That's what we don't want to see this early, because that will be new tender growth in a week or 10 days.
Because the trees don't have a calendar handy, they go off temperatures. Right now, it's warm.
Kind of confuses the tree. The tree doesn't go into a strong dormant stage. It wants to bloom, it wants to put on new flush, which is all great, but we would prefer to hold that for another 5 or 6 weeks.
If the trees don't stay dormant for long enough, their bloom will be low, producing far less fruit than they should. According to Glenn Compton of the environmental group Manasota 88, orange production is down 70% over the last 10 years, and it may not be done decreasing.
One thing that we know for certain is that citrus is going to decline in the state of Florida, and also it's going to become a lot more expensive.
In the simple rules of supply and demand, with less supply, the higher the demand will be. Unsurprisingly, Compton places the blame on climate change, and Brown agrees.
So I think definitely something's going on. I mean, you can go back and look at the history of, the weather 10 years back prior, and even go back 20, 30 years. I mean, we had a lot of cold days. We had a lot of hard freezes.
Brown said he hasn't seen a hard freeze in 10 years.
Unfortunately, the Florida Department of Agriculture has not been adequately funded to address the problems that the citrus industry is having, and we don't see that changing anytime in the future.
However, Compton predicts a big change in farming's future.
I predict that the citrus industry in the state of Florida, its days are numbered.
I don't think you're going to see it gone, because there's people who are, strong back that just keep hammering away at trying to put in new trees like we have. We've planted about 30 acres of new trees in the last 3 years.
Brown hopes those new trees will help his 102-year-old business weather the storm. Brown did tell us the farming business has its ups and downs. He's hoping there's a turnaround soon so his business will pick back up again. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.